When you think of popular YouTubers, who do you think of? PewDiePie, T-Series, and maybe Mr. Beast? Well, today I will be focusing on the hidden story of one of those YouTubers, Mr. Beast. Jimmy Donaldson, more commonly known as Mr. Beast, was born on May 7th, 1998 in Kansas. There is not much known about Mr. Beast's personal life, but the basics are this. He currently resides in Greenville, North Carolina, where he attended Greenville Christian Academy and where he graduated from in 2016. He decided to drop out of college to pursue a career in YouTube, and now he's currently doing exactly that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the unknown reasons behind Mr. Beast's success, and the stories that you probably haven't heard. So without any more introduction, here is the unknown story of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast started his YouTube channel on February 19th, 2012. His channel didn't start as Mr. Beast though, as many of you know. Originally, the channel was called Mr. Beast 6000. His first video was uploaded on February 20th, 2012, and was titled, Worst Minecraft Saw Trap Ever. The video in question showed off a Minecraft map that 13-year-old Jimmy had built, which was built as a parody of the Saw movies, containing multiple traps, all of which were considered easy to complete in the video, thus the title. For the first year and a half of his channel, he almost exclusively focused on Minecraft content, with a few Pokemon videos sprinkled in. His two main topics he focused on were mods for the game and impressive/generally interesting builds that were made for the game. Sometime around then, he changed his channel name to Beast, but it is not known exactly when this change happened, but we know it happened based off of a video Jimmy made on May 3rd, 2015. Going back to 2013, starting on July 3rd, 2013, editing Schlight here, very quick correction, it actually started with this video called Storytime on April 17th, 2013, not July, so yeah, quick correction. Jimmy started to make Black Ops 2 videos. He would continue to make videos on Black Ops 2 for a few months before pivoting to other content. He would still have Black Ops 2 gameplay in the background of the videos at this point, similar to Leafy is here, but the video's main talking points started to shift more to commentary on other topics. For instance, starting on November 11th, 2013, Jimmy started up a new series which I will refer to as the How Much Money Does Blank Make series. It started with a video on how much PewDiePie made, and then continued on to other YouTubers such as Captain Sparkles, Markiplier, Smosh, and more. The next few years on his channel were pretty uneventful, with him covering many topics and continuing on his How Much Money Does Blank Make series. Mr. Beast also started his series known as Worst Intros. There used to be quite a big number of these videos up on his channel, but it seems that he has removed all of them, with the only ones left being a spin-off titled Best Intros on YouTube #1. Another one showing fan-made intros titled Worst Mr. Beast Intros ? Fan-made ! And one more titled Making Fun of YouTubers Intros. His first major breakthrough though was with his video titled Counting to 10,000 in One Sitting.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
A 3.5 hour long video in which he counts to 10,000. As of November 14th, 2020. Editing Schlight here again. Ugh, how did it take me this long to get from script to video? Oh, whatever. The video currently stands at just under
16 million
views. Now, as you may know, a year after this video, he uploaded a video titled Counting to 100,000 in One Video. And from there, most people know the story from that point. Now, I will delve into the less known story. Something that is still shrouded in mystery, of which there is not a specific date for, is Mr. Beast's investment in cryptocurrency. Yes, you hear me right. In 2017, Mr. Beast made multiple investments into crypto, mostly in Ethereum and Siacoin. This money most certainly went to making his YouTube videos, along with the money he attained from merch sales, sponsorships, and ad revenue. Remember, this time period was before the adpocalypse, so that was a viable option. The money gained from this investment was most likely heavily used in a video posted on December 2nd, 2017, titled Giving My Mom $100,000, Proudest Day of My Life. In this video, he mentions how you should spend the money to get views, in a sort of spend money to gain money mentality. The most important part of the puzzle that is Jimmy's investments is one of his Reddit accounts, u/MrBeast6000. This account was made all the way back on May 18th, 2014, and was used for many purposes over the time it was active. Jimmy routinely used it to promote his YouTube videos, but starting on May 10th, 2017, he would start using this account to discuss many things related to cryptocurrency. The most notable things on this account are his mentioning of how much he made at the time, a post alluding to when he bought an unspecified amount of Ethereum, and a post talking about an order of graphics cards. The first thing to address are two comments he made on June 10th, 2017, in which he addressed an order of Siacoin. The first comment reads, quote, Bought 1 million of it and stored it offline. Plan on forgetting about it till it reaches $1, lol. After which someone replies asking how much the purchase cost, where Jimmy says, $13,000. I'm a YouTuber of decent income. This string is notable for two reasons. First of all, we can infer that Jimmy invested in Sia Coin from between June 2nd to June 4th of 2017, and that if Jimmy sold the Sia Coin on the day when it got closest to being worth $1, then he would have made a net gain of $80,000. A very good investment indeed. The other thing of note in the comment is the fact he says he has a decent income, while putting that next to the fact he invested $13,000 in the Sia Coin. This shows that even back then he was doing well from YouTube, and combined with everything else, his dive into more expensive but viewed videos to make was more of a smart investment. The next thing I want to talk about is his Ethereum investment. On June 8th, 2017, Jimmy made a post on r/cryptocurrency which read, quote, "I started heavily investing in Ethereum back when it was $30, and I've made some good gains. I think I'm finally ready to start moving the money into other coins. What coins under $1 interest you guys? I want gains and don't care how risky." Jimmy explicitly says that he invested in Ethereum when it was worth $30, which is very helpful in not only knowing when this investment was made, but how much he possibly made from it. Jimmy must have bought the Ethereum from between March 14th and March 16th, 2017. Jimmy here says that he heavily invested in Ethereum, and that he has made some good gains. Looking at the chart for the price of Ethereum, this is true, as on the day he posted this, the volume of one Ethereum had risen to $264. If we assume that he spent $13,000 on Ethereum, similar to his purchase of Sia Coin, then that would mean that if he sold the purchase in June of 2018, when Ethereum was worth over $1,000, he would have made over $400,000. Obviously, MrBeast made great investments in crypto, but there's one more thing to address relating to this topic. On June 16th, 2017, MrBeast commented on a post in r/buildapc, replying to someone who raised concern over a lack of GPUs that were available to order, asking whether or not all the miners, cryptocurrency miners, had taken up all the GPUs. Jimmy responded to this by saying, quote, "It won't be for a long time. I have an order for 1,000 graphics cards for my crypto warehouse and it's backed up for weeks." While he was most likely joking and saying he bought thousands of graphics cards, it is definitely not out there that he bought a bunch of them. And it is also not that unlikely that he kept these graphics cards way after he sold his investments in crypto. For those of you unfamiliar, in the simplest terms, mining is when you use a computer's power to solve algorithms, which in turn rewards you with some amount of a certain cryptocurrency. The most commonly used and most efficient method of crypto mining is using a GPU, and it is a much more risk-averse method of getting money from crypto than investing. If done right, it can supply you with a consistent stream of money from crypto, which is probably what happened with MrBeast. Now that you know the hidden story of MrBeast's cryptocurrency investment, let's talk about the other hidden part of his career. If you go to MrBeast's About page on YouTube and answer the CAPTCHA to be able to see Jimmy's business email, you will find an email address under MrBeast@knightmedia.co. Knight Media is a self-proclaimed multimedia talent management company and creative outpost for the largest creators on the internet. If you go to their site, knightmedia.co, then you will find that they have signed up many creators to be under their wing, and they control what can only be explained as a media empire. Aside from having ownership over the MrBeast channels, they also have ownership over FGTV, SSunday, Preston, also known as Preston Plays, Matt Stoney, Unspeakable, also known as Unspeakable Gaming, ZHC, Aziland, and many more. The extent of this media empire is hard to put into words, especially when you consider all their other ventures listed on their website, which includes some sort of content factory that creates children's videos and other children's content, to a content management system, to even Team Trees. They do not say how much involvement they had with Team Trees, however they assumedly had a big part in it, considering the fact that it is on their ventures page. To put all of this into even more perspective, it says on their About page that they control a collective 90 billion YouTube views, 324 million subscribers, 22 million Twitter followers, 32 million Instagram followers, 95 million TikTok followers, and 30 million Facebook followers. That is insane, and it is crazy that such a huge media empire can go so unnoticed. It's gone so unnoticed, in fact, that when I put the website into SimilarWeb.com, a website that's pretty good at giving you data on website analytics, I got nothing aside from multiple notices that there was simply not enough data for SimilarWeb to extract. So who is behind this media empire? Well, again, on their About page, we can see that their CEO is Reed Dushshur. He is described as the business manager for Knight Media clients and the founder of Knight Media. I clicked on his Twitter account link, however, it says that his account has now been deleted since. Also on the page is Knight Media president Ezra Cooperstein, who is also the former president of Fullscreen, an infamous MCM, and has also had many other high-up roles in other companies. Finally, there's these three people: Michael Gordon, the VP of Talent, Ryan Quinn, VP of Products, and Andrew Pelosi, Head of Business Development. And if you want to read up more on what they do, then pause the video. Anyways, there are two more things I would like to add on about Knight Media before I wrap this video up. Firstly, they have a Twitter account, @KnightMedia_, which is really not that interesting. They almost exclusively just retweet things said by some of their content creators that are under their wing. I forgot to mention this, but Ezra Cooperstein also has an account, at Ezra Cooperstein. However, his account is even less interesting. Finally, there are 2 pages on LinkedIn that I was able to view without having to create an account, and those 2 pages are the business pages for Knight Media and their sister company, Knight Ventures. On Knight Media's page, we can see that their company is based in Los Angeles, California, and has a measly 24 employees. This wasn't caught in the screenshot, however, LinkedIn also tells me that the company was founded in July of 2015, so happy 6th birthday, I guess. Then the page goes on with a lot of company jargon and explaining what they do. Their sister company's page shows that the company is headquartered in Dallas, Texas, with an incredibly tiny 6 employees. The description for Knight Ventures is very scant, and again, this was not in the screenshot, however LinkedIn tells me that this company was founded in January of 2021. So, after covering the history of MrBeast, his cryptocurrency investments, and the obscure company behind the MrBeast brand, I hope that you've come from this video more informed, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe, although I can't make any promises that my upcoming videos will be in the style of this one. Either way, that's all I have for now. Bye bye, Wolfram Pack Amigo thingies!